Ready, set, go.
It all starts when Bonk, as a human, was throwing breadcrumbs to some seagulls. While doing so, a witch named Janet started talking to Bonk and provoked Bonk to accidentally throw one stray breadcrumb at the eyeball of a seagull, bringing it down. As a result, the gull god rose from the ocean and revealed that Bonk was not always a human, used to be a seagull, and was turned into a human for their transgressions against gull kind. For their further bread-based crimes, the gull god then turns Bonk into a goose. Now, with Janet just being there and being a witch, she took this opportunity to offer her services to Bonk and made them sign a blood pact or a blood contract, because job security and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
very important.
Yeah. So then Bonk first went to Dr. Doot in their workshop / doctor's office, helped out by Katie and the office receptionist Kim, to find a way around this blood contract. Upon failing to do some reconnaissance into Janet's coven, they get found out, and instead of keeping things a secret, Janet and Doot decide that they must join forces in order to help Bonk, which means they have to combine Doot's workshop with Janet's coven, which they are able to do because Janet is able to download the entire workshop into the Shadow Realm. Yes, that Shadow Realm. But when she tries to re-upload the workshop into her coven, she gets a message saying that her data transfer limit from the Shadow Realm has been reached, and so they are stuck in the Shadow Realm with a now crushed bowl of pretzels. Did I miss anything?
Mm-hmm. I think you got it.
I would say that was
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Now, we don't have Katie with us tonight, and because our other contingency cast members either are not able to make it or have not replied, I will be filling in for Katie this time around.
We'll edit them in post-production,
I'll just do my best Katie impression.
Oh, this is gonna be so
this
good.
is gonna be interesting.
It's just
Yeah.
monotone as Connor can be.
Yeah.
Does the ranch speak?
Hello.
Oh!
Hello, Ranch.
There they are.
Hello. Hello.
All right, everyone, welcome Rachel to the cast of Help Me Out, Doc.
Hello, Rachel.
Be
Hello,
welcome.
Ranch, Rachel.
Okay, let's get started. Welcome, one and all, to the third episode of Tall Lanky Audio Theater Presents Help Me Out, Doc, a self-referential fanfic written by yours truly with partial writing credit to Rachel. Let's get moving. Episode 3. We open in the Shadow Realm, currently populated by a woman in an office chair holding a cup of tea, an oddly chipper plague doctor, a blue/orange-haired and very sweaty witch, an increasingly sweaty plague doctor's assistant, and a goose. Dr. Doot and KT are exploring the space, inspecting, sniffing, and at certain points licking various nooks and crannies of the dark void they've been trapped in, like two geology majors discovering their new favorite cave. Janet crouches in the corner of the void, occasionally muttering some version of the Shadow Realm exit spell, With each failure, she snaps her fingers and reverses the ratio of orange to blue in her hair. Bonk is slowly but contentedly nibbling on the crushed bowl of pretzels they had landed on upon arrival.
This is fascinating. One would typically assume shadows not to have like a taste, but they're concentrated form here, and they carry a light flavor of turmeric.
I noticed that when we arrived. Ironically, though, the pretzel table carries the same slight taste. The question is, does that mean that the table itself is made of shadow in solid form, or have the shadows left a sort of residue over whatever else occupies the space?
Bowl definitely tastes like shadow too.
Are you eating pieces of the bowl?
Depends. Are you a pretzel bowl cop?
It tastes like that because I used to cook meals here. Now shut up and let me sink into despair in peace.
Why don't you cook in your coven?
Because sometimes when I'm brewing a certain potion for an extended period of time, certain herbs and spices can fuck up the abstract chemistry, the whole deal. Never eat tikka masala in the presence of a love elixir in the making.
I've been meaning to study abstract chemistry more, but I hated all the indiscreet math it involves.
Well, great. Let me just grab one of my textbooks on the subject, and you can make the most of your time here. Download 'em, Academia. Fuck you, Elixum fucking shitwad pretzelus.
As expected, nothing happens.
Does anyone else use this space?
Nah, the subscription package gets you your own existential private server, and each subscription tier upgrades the space and the amount of corporeal data you can transfer between. Top tier also gets you into the Shadow Realm Discord.
I'm guessing you didn't opt into that one.
Thought I had. I remember getting one with a big ass import-export limit and just kind of stopped keeping track of how often I came down here.
That's the kind of thing I pass on to KT to take care of.
That's also the kind of thing I immediately pass on to Kim.
And that's the kind of thing I do instead of pretending to be a lawyer.
So you're not a lawyer. I knew it.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't, but it makes sense in retrospect.
Yeah, speaking of retrospect, did you happen to accidentally trap anything with us down here that could possibly address my persisting waterfowl status?
Well, everything down here is mine, save for the pretzels. And last I remember, the whole point was for me and the highlighter hair over here to combine our resources. But it looks like it's all on me yet again. I'm sure a well-practiced and traveled witch like yourself could surely make use of my humble wares.
Ugh, fine. I could probably use a distraction. I was starting to think about the implications of the fact that I'm not sure if you can actually die in the Shadow Realm, or if it's actually just a Star Trek hell is other people nightmarescape.
Yeah, it would be a good distraction from that. For starters, over here is my extra-dimensional spice rack and my cosmic yeast starter cupboard. I've not done much in the way of culinary-minded alchemy. Perhaps you can find your way around it.
Instruments can be tricky. I spent all of 2020 trying to wrap my head around it, and you'll never guess what broke the code.
Was it mustard?
Holy shit, it was! Something about mustard makes the ultimate catalyst for literally any magical gourmet dish.
Check out what I've got next to the void butter.
Oh my god. Where the hell did you find smoky honey mustard? I thought only Subway had this shit.
They did, until someone, absolute champ on TikTok, leaked the recipe, and I've been making my own ever since.
Do you have the recipe written down?
Unfortunately, it can only exist in oral memory. Trust me, I spent the entirety of 2023 trying to find my way around Subway's surprisingly robust copyright hexes. But I'd be happy to spend the afternoon showing you the process.
That might be nice. I'll try my hand at it myself first, though. In my experience, even the sturdiest enchantments on written media are still pretty flimsy.
Does that include blood contracts?
No, those are consistently airtight and ironclad. No one has ever gotten out of one. Certainly not any one of mine. Nope, not once. Fuck you.
Is the blood pact really necessary? Those can sometimes leave a stain on the signer's psyche.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. Cute. Alright, I'll be with the other nerds licking the table.
I know that, but I've got to get work somehow. How do you know about the psyche stain? You've got your fancy-dancy off-eggshell white wallpaper doctor's office with your regular clientele and whatnot.
I mean, you hear about these things through the grapevine. I actually have a sample of sentient grapevine around here somewhere that might have told me about it.
Uh-huh.
Besides, what does it really mean to truly know something, right? Some might say that's all relative too, so maybe there's not actually any way that I could know anything about blood contracts.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, who are you to assume that I don't just learn about these things through rigorous research and study in my field? Just because it's extremely unprofessional and represents the seedier end of this very legitimate occupation doesn't mean that I shouldn't know about it. Knowledge is power, you know, and,
When was your first time?
I beg your fuck, ma'am?
Now's not the time. When was your first blood contract?
Upon hearing the mention of blood contract, Katie and Kim look up and stare at Doot with wide eyes, waiting for their response.
Mine, you're among friends and obligatory work partners and a goose.
It was barely even a contract.
Oh my god, Doc, you didn't.
Doctor, as your sole legal counsel, you don't have to divulge that information.
Kids, the adults are earning street cred over here. What happened?
It was stupid. I shouldn't have even considered it as an option.
I guess it was something as an option if it's stupid.
Sometimes the stupidest options get the job done the fastest. What happened, Doc?
I had barely gotten my degree and had just left my indentured internship. When the city got mostly destroyed, a lot of people ended up going to the snake oil salesman before they'd even considered talking to a plague doctor.
I fucking hate those guys.
I had even tried building my first workshop, but it got crushed by a flying piece of debris when the saddle dome exploded.
I liked that workshop. It had drywall.
Somehow, even after the actual apocalypse, landlords were still trying to collect rent, but nowadays you can't keep up, so they can't even so they don't even evict you, they just eat you.
And unfortunately, a lot of the secondhand magic that we spend our time in makes us particularly tasty.
I was way behind on my bills, and I needed clients, and this one guy asked me to make a jar of jelly beans with his dog medication magically embedded on each bean.
It tastes like.
Yeah, cheese.
Kind of cheese.
It was smoky, yet refined Gouda, aged in an oak barrel stored in a cave in North Dakota.
Hell yeah.
This guy seemed like he might flake, so I asked him to fill out a form so that he was part of my alchemical client database.
And by the time he signed, it was done.
Yeah.
Wait, but wouldn't he have to refill the jar with more jelly beans?
That was what kept him in the blood pact, wasn't it? The poor kid had to keep coming back for those damn cheese beans.
By the fifth refill, I'd hand him the refilled jar and he'd just start snacking on the jelly beans. And when I tried to remind him that they were for his dog, he barked at me.
Oh, how'd you get him out of the contract?
Oh, I killed him.
You what?
Wait, huh?
Fuck yeah, you did!
That's showbiz, baby.
It's unfortunately part of the job sometimes. Sometimes the fastest acting magic remedy, it's a shovel.
We didn't have one on hand, though, so we used a gun.
So, little Dr. Duke's got some blood on their hands.
Oh, I very regularly have blood on my hands, but usually it's ostrich blood.
I didn't hire you to shoot me, Doc.
Technically, you didn't hire them at all, you hired me.
I didn't hire you to shoot me either.
I think it's safe to say neither of us intended to kill you, Bonk. It's just because of that specific incident that it's because of that specific incident that I've sworn off all blood contracts and why I wanted to help you get out of hers.
Wait, you're not even trying to turn him back into a seagull? All this was just so I could lose a client again?
It's not my fault. You swindled a goose into a blood pact that just to get some work. It smells a lot like a nice steaming batch of consequences for your actions.
I told you it's fucking turmeric!
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Just passing through. At that moment, everyone turns and finds a tall man in a red flannel and a shorter person with dark hair and a green hoodie featuring a worn, cheap print of Van Gogh's sunflowers.
Who the hell are you?
Oh my god. Is that the infamous YouTuber Tall Lanky guy?
Holy shit! It is infamous YouTuber Tall Lanky guy.
Yeah, hi. This is Rachel.
What's up?
We were just going for a walk around the different servers, but clearly we've interrupted something important here, so we'll just be on our way.
What do you mean going for a walk?
Oh, we've got a high enough subscription tier that we can actually explore other people's Shadow Realm spaces. Well, at least the ones that aren't password protected.
Janet, this space isn't password protected?
Have you ever tried to hack into the Shadow Realm? No, I didn't think so. I didn't even know there was a tier that let you wander around these.
You know, because you're a super successful content creator.
No, I'm mooching off of Rachel.
Yeah, this is included in my free student account.
What on Gaia's Green Earth are you studying to require a Shadow Realm student account?
Music therapy.
Oh.
It's chill. Yo, do you need your pretzels refilled?
Well, yes, but what we really need is to get all this Dr. Doot's workshop uploaded into my coven, but I hit my transfer limit, I guess.
Oh,
That's rough, buddy. You want to just use my upload spell?
Does it work that way?
There's only one way to find out.
Okay, I should write this down.
No need. Just say your name, and then Bretzel.
Bretzel?
Yeah, like pretzel, but with a B.
Okay. Janet Bretzel.
immediately, the abyssal ceiling of the space opens into a huge portal, the roof of Janet's coven appearing above. Everything and everyone in the room are promptly lifted into the coven, then gently returned to the ground as the portal below them closes into the blankets and rugs covering the ground of the coven.
Holy shit, that was fast.
Use it as often as you like, my guy, but only until the end of April, because they're real hard asses about cutting off cloud services once you graduate.
I'm sure I can find a way around it. Here's my card. And hey, Mr. Lanky Guy.
Please, Mr. Lanky Guy is my father. Call me Connor.
Then Connor. I've got a funny feeling I've met you somewhere before, but in any case, if you ever need someone to play games with or voice a satellite going through a football-centered existential crisis, call me.
I might just take you up on that. We ought to run, though. We live on the far, far, far western end of Calcouver and seem to have overshot things a bit. Best of luck with the swan or whatever.
What you call me?
Connor and Rachel exit.
Well, looks like we finally made it to your coven. We'd best get to work.
Hold it right there, Doc. We're not doing anything until I can be certain I'll be properly compensated for my services. And that's exactly what the contract was for.
The only reason I need your fucking services is because you got me in trouble with the goddamn god.
Entirely irrelevant.
I think we're all aware of three things right now. The work market is shit. The mechanics of the Shadow Realm's data sharing policies are mysterious and opaque at best. And Bonk needs help. Because we're pooling our resources for this particular case, I can handle some of the expenses for whatever we need. I intend to make sure your services are paid for in full. But if I'm going to be involved, one of my professional requirements is that we dissolve that blood pact as soon as possible. Do we have a deal?
It will be nice to have a few extra pairs of hands around here for a change.
And my hands will be available to have and to hold.
Excuse me?
I mean, my hands are real good ones, real good meat hands. The best are holding at doing tasks. Good hands!
Well, when you put it that way, we better put those hands to work. Hand me that ore. We've got a legally/existentially binding document to destroy.
That was delightful.
And thus,
fucking
Thus ends
fucking Christ.
episode 3.
Fabulous.
I think my favorite
Jesus
thing
Christ.
about these is that we don't have to rehearse for them because you nail all of us pretty well.
Yeah.
We're all like,
Yep.
these are things
Yeah.
we would
That's just
actually
us.
say.
It's just you guys.
Just
This is-
being
this is-
ourselves.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The challenge that I had never had to do up until this point is write in the voice of Rachel, which was a fun challenge, but I feel like I did pretty well.
Yeah.
I think so. You've
Nice.
heard me. I've been yapping at you nonstop for a year and a half, my guy.
Yeah. There you go. So I was like, do they say my guy, or is that just something I imagine them saying?
My guy.
There's not,
Yeah.
It's just
There's
an
not
interesting
enough
and weird
swearing
thing
in
to
my
say.
I was very confident about that's rough, buddy, though.
Absolutely. That line is iconic.
The Avatar reference is always.
It's
needed.
also something that Rachel says quite often.
I believe it.
Is it?
Relatively. I think you actually started saying it less after we had watched Avatar.
That's
Did we?
hilarious.
Did I?
Interesting.
Or did
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's like actually a graphable decline, but you definitely said it at least as much before you had actually seen the show.
Mm.
When it was a meme and not content.
Yeah.
True.
Anyway, this one was fun, but also I had trouble figuring out like where I wanted to go plot-wise because we were stuck in the Shadow Realm for most of it. So I was like, this all has to be like character stuff.
Yeah, which it worked really well. And then you concluded the void and got everyone out, which great, perfect.
Goddamn delightful
Yeah.
as usual, Connor, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Amazing work.
yes. Again, big thanks to Rachel for helping me figure out how to get things moving
All good, dude.
in this
Yeah.
particular episode.
Absolutely, great work. The collaboration was wonderful.
Happy
Yeah.
to help. Happy to help.
If you were watching, because this is the outro for the audio theater, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you didn't, then why'd you watch to the end? Like,
why are you still here?
Go away.
why are you putting yourself through this
You fucking
if you didn't like this?
contrarian.
You're like, do yourself a favor and look at things that you enjoy, you know? If you did like it, then you can click the like button. You can leave your thoughts. If you have any particular so bad it's good fanfics that you would like to hear us read aloud for the first time
Tell them that.
live, let us know in the comments.
Don't tell this particular group of people that. They'll send me so much shit and I'll have to send it to you.
That's what I want.
Oh God.
Well, they don't have to send it to you. They can just leave it in the comments. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking them to send it to you to send it to me because I don't need the middleman either. If you haven't subscribed, now's a good time to do that. And if you want to support the channel in a monetary fashion, you can head to Fourth Wall, check out some of the new merch that we released for the 10th anniversary of the channel. Become a member if you want to do that. Would hugely appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much. I'll see you later.
Why?
Bye.
It's
It's
20.
20 seconds of random bullshit at the end of the stream.
You're in
20
Harvard.
seconds. Random shit. This is your obligatory 20 seconds of random bullshit.
Harry Potter and Harvard.
Haggard?
Goober, you little cheese croissant.